Hi guys, Aka here. So, we have Mouri Motonari. This Japanese lord is the latest CAF general to be added to the game. And we want to put him through the regular routine, okay? We want to see what he can do, see how strong he is, and if he's a CAF general worthy of your time and attention. So, we're going to hop right in and take a look at Motonari's skills. But before we do that though, just want to remind you guys that if you're going to be coining during this event, consider using Paxify. You've probably seen me promoting Paxify on the channel, and they might be a good way for you to save some money during this event if you're planning on coining. Website and setup links are down in the description of this video, so check them out. So we have Mouri here, and we take a look at his main skill. In there, he gets 55% attack, 55% defense, and 35% HP. And it's worth noting that he's a when leading the army general. Okay, so he can be used in pretty much all situations. All right, now if we take a look at his specialties and we go through his specialties and put everything together, Mouri comes out with a total of 75% attack, 55% defense, and 20% HP. Okay, now we go to his ascension. We put all the stats in his ascension together. Mouri gets 55% attack, 50% defense, and 55% HP. Alrighty, now if we put all of his stats together, Mouri comes out with a total of 185% attack, 160% defense, and 110% HP. Alrighty, now we want to put him up against some of the top CAF generals that we have in the game. So these are the generals that we're going to be comparing Mouri with, okay? And these are their stats. Now, as you can see, Mouri Motonari is not doing too bad, okay? Not too bad. Obviously, he's not the highest on attack or on HP, but he's doing quite decently on defense. Okay, defense, yes, maybe not the most important stat for a CAF general, but, you know, he's got that there. And all in all, yeah, he's okay, all right? He's okay. Now, if we want to go ahead and look at their march sizes, so we can see how well he does, these are the march sizes of the generals that we're looking at. Now, as you can see, in contrast to the stats themselves, Mouri is doing significantly okay on the march size. Okay, he's not the highest on the march size, but yeah, he's doing okay. 28% march size compared with the other generals is pretty all right. So all in all, yeah, Mouri's not looking like a bad general. Okay, now we want to go ahead and take a further look at him. So we want to look at his covenant. So we have his covenant here, and by all respects, it's an okay covenant. These are the generals that he needs for his covenant, and to the best of my knowledge, these guys are pretty easily available either in the tavern or in the relics. So shouldn't have any problem getting the generals for his covenant there. As for the covenant skills, he gets 10% march size, which we have factored in already. But aside from that, it's an okay covenant, all right? Nothing to scream about, okay? Just pretty okay standard stuff. Now, we want to go ahead and look at his compatibility, okay? The first thing we want to look at is his compatibility with skill books. So, this is my Mouri Motonari here. And if we go to the skill books, we want to check him out for mounted attack right here. Okay, he's good on mounted attack, which is cool. We scroll down a bit, come to mounted defense. Mounted defense is okay, all right. We go down, check for mounted HP. He's fine on HP. And we come down, check for march size. He's also good on march size. So, Mouri Motonari can take all the necessary mounted books that we have in the game. All right, that's cool. Now, we want to check his compatibility with other generals. So we do as we usually do and come over here, okay? So we have Mouri here, And the first general that we want to check in with is Zhao Yun. Okay, and as we can see, he's compatible with Zhao Yun. So moving on, Mouri Motonari is compatible with Marco Polo. Okay, so you've got an M&M situation going on there. And to me, this is a pretty decent combination. Okay, now we move on. Mouri is compatible with Hestia, all right, which is fine, decent combination. Mouri is also compatible with Washington Prime, all right, which is a very good combination in my opinion. Then we move on. Mouri is compatible with Caesar, and I decided to just throw Caesar in there for all you Caesar fans that are thinking of killing monsters and things like that. So that's a compatibility one right there. And Mouri is compatible with Olaf. Okay? So, yeah, looking all good. Now, these are the generals that I was able to check him out with. His compatibility seems pretty decent. But if you guys can help and share any compatibility that you know of, generals that he works with or he doesn't work with, as usual, please feel free to drop them down in the comments. It's always appreciated. Right, now we've gone through Mouri Motonari as the main general, okay? Let's take a look at him as the assistant. Okay, so we have their stats here as the assistant. And yeah, he's okay. Attack is on the decent side. Defense as well. HP, well, maybe not quite top notch, but you know, it's okay. His march size as an assistant is pretty decent, okay? 20% march size you get, and it's pushing towards the high end. Yes, there are a few generals that have better march size than Mouri, but at 20%, he's okay. So, with all that said and done, the verdict on Mouri Motonari is that he's an okay cav general. All right? He's okay. Not the best, certainly not the worst. In my opinion, he's somewhere smack in the middle. All right? If you wanted a decent cav general that has decent stats, decent march size, and you haven't been able to get anyone else up till now, then Mouri is a decent option. The other interesting thing about him is that he's a when leading the army general, okay? So you could very well use him as a reinforcing general if you needed one. I don't really know how many of us reinforce with calves, so, you know, that might be something up for discussion. But if you wanted to, yeah, he's there, okay? Another option would be to use him as a wall general. Because he's when leading the army, you can easily slap him on your wall and use him for defense if you have a cav-based defense. Now, of course, you'll be missing out on his march size if you're using him as a wall general. But as a wall general, yeah, his stats are pretty okay. Is he better than some of the other options that we have? I don't know. The only thing I would say is that we have several decent options for cav general for defense, and since Mouri Motonari is a new general, you'd literally have to be spending your tokens and Blood of Ares to get him upgraded, or you might have to coin to get him, okay? And if you're going to coin to get him, you know, as we said earlier, consider Paxify. So all in all, Mouri is an okay general. The question now is he okay enough for you to use? Now, if you're still considering checking out other mounted generals before you make your choice on whether you should go ahead with Mouri or not, here is a previous comparison video I've done for mounted generals, so you could use that as some additional information to make up your mind if you haven't seen it already. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much. Aka signing out.